Hi, it's Anne. We're getting ready for the holidays. This is a new video series that I plan to publish every Saturday between now and Christmas. The holidays are a long ways off. As I'm recording this, it is early September, but I this series is a response to some questions that I put out on the community tab of this channel a couple of weeks ago. I hate to rush the holiday season because a lot of people just don't get into holiday mode when our gardens are still blooming outside. But as crafters, we like to plan ahead, and it turns out that there are lots of folks that are really raring to go even this time of year on their holiday crafting. So I thought I'd do this little series as a bit of a bonus each week. I plan to still be doing my usual videos every Tuesday and Friday. These holiday videos won't interfere with that schedule. So people who aren't interested in holiday crafting right now, or perhaps at all, they can just skip over the Saturday drop and no interruption to my regular video schedule. I'm going to make a playlist where all of the holiday series videos will reside. So if you miss a bunch, or if you're just not ready to start holiday crafting yet, you can go back to that playlist whenever you are ready and just get hopefully a little bit of inspiration. These videos are likely to be shorter than my usual projects because I want to emphasize things that are fast and easy, not a lot of fuss, but still really practical and usable. I think I'm going to be working on some specific holiday themed journals, like gratitude journals, maybe December dailies. But for today, let's start with something that is super practical and super fast, and that is making junk journal style gift tags. And I'm going to be using a glue stick, of course, a piece of sheet music, some backing paper, and a napkin. You've seen me use lots of napkin crafts before, and they're just perfect when it comes to gift tags. So let's go ahead and get started with this. And because I want to show you that I really am emphasizing fast and easy, I've set up a timer on my iPad, and I'm going to time how long it takes me to do this because I want you to see how much time you can expect to invest in this little project. We hope it will be fast, but we're just going to find out. So I'm going to start now and set that aside and ignore that for the moment. Gift tags are just such a nice way to put a little personal touch to, even if you're taking a tray of cookies, a plate of cookies over to your neighbors. And there's nothing like a music page to give sort of a holiday spirit to things. So I just took this piece of sheet music. Apparently somebody was putting off doing their piano lessons and did some coloring there on their music book, but I'm just going to use my glue stick to back this. We're going to end up with 3 layers. Gift tags are things that you don't want to spend a whole lot of time on. And let's face it, it's, easy to make any kind of an impromptu gift tag or, buy a sticker or something like that. They're not expensive. But isn't it kind of nice to make your own? And it's a nice thing to make this time of year because you can just tuck them away with your gift wrapping materials, and they'll be all ready to use when it's the 20th of December and you're making those trays of cookies for your neighbors. Let me pull this down a little bit more. Now that I'm timing myself, I'm conscious of my time wasters. Let me get over this a little bit more. So this is just a sheet of coffee dyed copy paper, but you could use any kind of paper that you just write on the back of, using an old room key to spread that around. We don't want to invest a lot of time into making gift tags because, let's face it, they are part of packaging that is likely to be thrown away. So it's no fancy crafting that we're going to be doing here. Now we've backed our music sheet, and we're going to take this holiday napkin, and it has a couple of layers here. Just going to take a little piece of tape and put that right in the middle because we want to get down to that top layer. Some napkins have only 2 layers, the white backing and the decorative layer. This one has 3 layers, so I'm taking off the 2 back ones. And you could use this to mop things up later, or dab your lips if you wish to do so, but I'm just going to throw caution to the wind and get rid of that one. Now we have this really nice translucent sheet of paper that's surprisingly strong. You've seen me do this technique many's the time. I'm just going to use my glue stick to cover this sheet music. And I'm going to try to get all the bits, the whole surface covered there. Some folks like to use the kind of glue stick it's like it's blue or purple, and then it changes color. I haven't, that would tell you where your coverage is. I have not typically used those. All right, I'm going to carefully lay this over my sheet, and if it wrinkles a little bit and I can't get the wrinkles out, I'm not going to worry. And if it tears a little bit, I'm also not going to worry about that either, because that's just going to add a little extra texture. There we go. You see I tore a little bit over there when I was rubbing. It'll just smush right back down. That's fine. Now, before I move on to the next step, I'm going to want to let this dry really completely because we're going to be cutting. And because of the nature of the paper fibers in this napkin, there can be a little bit of a drag, not necessarily a clean cut, if you cut it when it still has the moisture of the glue. So I'm going to set this aside. And we're not going to count the drying time in our project. I made this one last night. This is the same construction, sheet on the back, and sheet music here, and a glue stick applied napkin on the top. But this one is thoroughly dry. I have just 1 sheet, and I'm going to show you how we're going to get 10 napkins out of this. I could use my ruler here, but I think I'm actually going to use my paper trimmer, which I don't typically bring over to the craft desk, but we're emphasizing speed here. So this is 8.5 here, and I'm going to cut this down into 2 4¼ strips. I'm hoping that you can, yeah, I think you can see this. I have these 2 strips. I'm going to put those on top of each other, and I'm going to cut 1.5 inches in. It might be easy. Maybe you can see this. There's our 11-inch. Yeah, that should be in shot. I'm going to cut 1.5 inch wide strips. So bring this down to 9.5. And this should cut pretty easily with your paper trimmer, but of course just use your scissors if you'd prefer to do that. Bring this down to 8. To 6.5. And to 5. So those are our small sized ones, and we're going to make 4 larger sized pieces. And that's going to be about 2 1/8. You could even hand tear these. That would make a nice charming look as well. Okay, now we're just going to fold. And we can stop right here if we wish to. I'm going to bring this in. We are now just a little over 7 minutes So you could stop right about now, and that's how much time you would have invested, not counting the drying time, of course, but actual project or crafting time. You would have invested just about 7 minutes into making this batch of 10 gift tags. But of course, we're going to zhuzh them up a little bit. Sometimes you want some larger ones. If you want to write just a little bit, nice for coworkers. I'm not going to bother to ink these because, again, the emphasis is fast on this. We are realistic in knowing that people throw packaging away. These little gift tags are probably going to be ephemeral in the truest sense. It's not something that folks are going to probably treasure forever. Maybe your crafting friends will. I don't know. Maybe if you make a set of these for your grandchilds to put on sweet little holiday gifts, and they're right there, you know, if they're very young and just learning to write their name. That might be things that folks might keep, but probably not. So let's save our really fancy dancy crafting for another project. There we go. Now I'm going to pull out my paper punch, and I can put my holes either in the middle or in the corner. I kind of like them in the corner, so I'm going to go ahead and just do my punching here. We're up to 9 minutes now. And this is my Crocodile Big Bite. I'm doing the whole batch. I normally would just, you know, not make you watch me do the whole thing, but again, we're timing ourselves to see how time consuming would it be to make a batch of 10 tags. And I certainly wouldn't spend a whole day crafting to make gift tags, but I might spend 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, we're up to 10 minutes now. There we go, about to turn over to 10 minutes. There we go. And we could stop right here if we wanted to. But what if we wanted to go ahead and get them threaded? I love using yarn on holiday gift tags because it just seems cozy and sweatery and warm cappy, and you know, you can use ribbon, you could use twine. I think yarn is great. I would advise you to not go out and spend any money if you don't have any yarn. Do you have a friend that crafts, that knits? Ask them for just a little bit of red yarn. They will be very happy to find you some. Now, some of these I just thread through like that. Others I put a little bit of a loop to secure it. These I will do just a few of, because we could leave these exactly like they are, put them in a little baggie, and put them in with our gift wrap ready to be attached later. But let's say that we want to dress it up a little bit. If you have any kind of a punch, a paper punch, there can be really fun, you know, you can just take a heart. I punch this out of some glittery paper. That would be super cute. Put this on. And this, you can easily open this up a little bit of that music page is showing through. And wouldn't this be nice, just dangling off of a gift bag? Or, there we go. I didn't get this entirely. If it bothered me that wasn't centered, I could trim that off. And I could just write a little short something cute in there to tell the person how much they mean to me at this holiday season. You can also do a little bit of stamping. Is this the right side? Yeah, this is the right side up side. What if I wanted to get out a little, very small holiday stamp? and just stamp a little message here in a white area. This is another reason to wait until your surface has completely dried before you stamp on it, because that napkin, if there's a little bit of moisture in it and you stamp on it, that ink is probably going to spread. So something like that would be super cute. I also have a little punch with some evergreen boughs on it. I don't know why that one is always a little bit hard, but I could glue something like this down, just like that. I wouldn't spend a whole lot of time on that though, so I think I'm going to set that aside. Let me do just a few more, and we'll see, let's just see how many more that we can really get done. I can set this up assembly line style. Got two different little stamps. Oh, here's another little heart that I punched out. Let's get that. Maybe, yeah, it's nice on the bigger one. Let me just do a little assembly line here. And get my ink out again. We're up to 14 minutes now. Whoops, almost got that upside down. It's kind of nice to put your stamping a little off kilter, because that way, because you purposely made it off kilter, it doesn't look like it's a mistake. And let's go back to Holiday Joy. They're cute, they're personal. And if you make them in September, they're done. They're done. There, we have 10. Okay, we're at almost 15 minutes. And, you know, I'd give myself another minute and a half probably to put the rest of the yarn in there. But I'm going to pretty much call this done. These... They're cute. They're just so handy to have. I would not bother with the inking. And if you have these made in September, you don't have to make any more in December, when you're really busy with lots of other things, when you're baking those cookies to go on the plates to the neighbors, or you're finishing knitting that hat to go into a gift bag for your friend at work. That's the first of our little holiday projects. I'm going to have fun getting into some December dailies and some gratitude journals, and some of the other things that are really great to do in the holiday season. But for now, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.